Let's go, UW. Says, I love Russ, but no more red zone Russ. 8 QBR in the red zone is unacceptable. Anything in the red zone should be Fields.
How do you feel about that?
I think we should pick a quarterback.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
I think it's got to be Russ. I don't think Russ has really given us a reason to be benched. Like you said, 270 and a touchdown yesterday. Granted, we do get some of the spark from Fields. We did have that Fields drive. I mean, he was
it was a 30
the
yarder.
main part of why we scored that touchdown, and he got us the roughing the passer.
Love it.
It's just such a terrible call, but I'll take it. Whatever. A normal tackle.
Deke, don't you do it, Deke. They said body weight. I say, ooh.
Russ don't get us that roughing the passer. Russ don't hang in the pocket long enough to make that throw.
No. Russ was getting hit, but he was getting like ejected. Every time I saw Russ get, he was like flying away from the dudes in the air. My man, low key, like that was what the old fashioned was on Fields, bro. But I like how you said. I'm glad. See, when you say that, I agree with it. If I say that, then they be like, hey man, you supposed to be rocking with us. So I appreciate you saying that, man.
But he was a key part of the success on that drive and us scoring and getting back in the game. So, I don't want to take some of the field stuff for granted, but you also saw it be a negative for us and kind of kill the flow of the offense and just be weird because it's too predictable at times. And then, my God, on that third down play, 3rd and 4, end of the game, final drive, we got to get first downs to close it out.
Talk to him, Deke. Talk to him.
What did I say, man?
Talk to him, Deke.
I can live
Talk to
with
him.
Russ not getting the first down in moments like that. Mm-hmm. I can live with that. But
it could have been the exact same play.
Well, no, and even I mean, here's the thing. That's the other part of the problem is the play. If you're gonna have Fields out there, you know what Fields brings to the table. You know why Fields is out there. It's for an RPO. It's for some sort of run, some sort of play that's actually going to utilize Fields' legs, right?
Make the defense have to account for the quarterback.
But no, the play was just him in shotgun and throwing it. That's for us. If that's the play, let Russ make that pass down the field to Pickens. Let Russ throw up the moon ball.
Talk to him, D. Talk to him, bro.
I didn't think the pass was bad from Fields necessarily. I don't think the decision was bad, but he's not as good of a passer as Russ, particularly on those type of passes because Russ will give it a little bit more arc. And I thought Fields threw him a little bit, overthrew Pickens. Because if Russ is throwing that, I think we do maybe get that pass interference because it would have been more
catchable.
Well, not only that, more physical because Emerson wasn't really looking, but Pickens would have came back for it more, and it would have been more obvious to the refs that we got to throw this flag here.
Yeah, respect.
But since Fields had it overthrown a little bit, Pickens was like weirdly falling down. That would have been a tough flag to throw, I'll be honest. So, I think you just got to pick a quarterback because I'm not you're seeing too many of the negatives of Fields getting in there pop up, and it's getting annoying.
All right. Now, respect on all of that, man. I'll say starting out, in terms of red zone Russ, man, I'm not tripping. Keep my dog in there, man. Number one, you see his ability to throw the football. You see his ability to dice you up and take full advantage of you regardless of the weather. Inside the numbers, outside the numbers, it doesn't matter. The whole let's make a big ordeal about this 8 QBR in the red zone, I mean, to me, honestly, whoop-de-doo. I think it's more than just a Russ red zone thing. But if we want to just minimize it to him, that's fine. Once again, I said protection matters. You look at those plays that Russ was trying to orchestrate anything in the red zone and watch how many times he was hitting pressured. Then come back and tell me, oh, yeah, man, you got to get him out of here. Nah, like I said, it does not matter if the O-line is not going to give him enough time, especially in the red zone. The other part of the red zone is this. We said with our receivers, we don't have crazy route runners. You've heard me talk about this numerous times. We said Calvin Austin is probably our best, work the middle of the field as a receiver guy, but it's not really a true, I'm going to route you up. Same with GP. He's more down the grass vertical. Van Jefferson is realistically, since coming here, has been more down the grass vertical. Mike Williams, down the grass vertical. Well, why does that not show up in the red zone? Because the field is condensed. So the same issues that we've talked about plenty of times, it just gets highlighted in the red zone because now the thing that we've been able to offset it with, which is the vertical pass, right? To throw it out the numbers, let GP go up and get it, let Van Jefferson go up and get it, right? All of that goes away because now I don't have the threat of you running by me. So if you can't run by me and you can't give me high level route running, well, now you're going to have separation issues as well. So once again, we can isolate it the rest if that makes everybody feel better, but it's a lot more detail in terms of why it is what it is. And it's really just going to come down to either those guys have to find ways to get better detail in their route running. Arthur Smith can potentially try to get a little bit more creative with some of his crossing routes when the field gets condensed. Or the cop out is, hey, man, you just got to score from further out. All right, you got to hit it from a little bit, in that 30-ish range.
That's the thing.
And
we actually have. How many touchdowns
that's what I'm saying.
do we have that's in like the high red zone? It's not going to count.
So I'm like,
for the red zone.
That's the alternative to it.
Because the Calvin Austin touchdown
that's high red.
was in the brown zone, but it wasn't necessarily the red zone.
Right, 23 yards, right?
Was it?
Yeah, it was 23. So it was like right on the fringe of it. So once again, if you want the context, the answers are there. If you want to, and that's why Coach Thomas says seek comfort. Seek comfort is just saying, oh, is this guy because he plays this, the number says that, and just switch him out, we're winning, we're good. It's like, nah. It's a lot more details, a lot more context, a lot more reasoning behind that, man. I do, though, I don't have the biggest issue all the way with the Fields element. I just think that we're just still rolling it out and trying to get the rhythm to it. This is the second game we saw him, but this was the most that we saw him in the dual quarterback situation. And I thought it made sense, especially going back to the Saints game just last week. You brought it up yourself about Taysom Hill. You said, man, Taysom Hill had the game of his life against who? This Browns defense. And why was that? Because they could not account for the quarterback. And you saw when Fields came in, that was the case for us. It was just for us, we looked out of rhythm. We looked out of whack with it. That was the part where I'm like, we got to get a little bit more detail with that. And if you're going to use Fields that frequently, you have to get a little bit more creative because it was super predictable at one point where it was like, yo, he's about to run this ball.
You're not giving him any passes.
Yeah, you're either running it right, you're running it left, or it's a one-man route with GP. That's not enough for Fields right now. That was why we were talking when Fields was the starter. We wanted to upgrade the wide receiver room to give him some more help. But we're essentially bringing him into a situation and saying, hey, don't even look over here for another option. This is your one read, and almost like dumbing it down. I'm looking at that and just saying, okay, and this was the first time we really wrote it out, and it was a short week. I'm hoping next week
we decide to open it up for him on that 3rd and 4th.
And that's the part where
great timing.
Well, this is the thing. You're trying not to be predictable because all game up until that point, it was ultra predictable. So that's the part where it's like you can see Arthur Smith kind of trying to work different things. And that's why I'm like, shout out to Arthur for even implementing Justin Fields because that did get us our first scoring drive, or touchdown drive. But at the same time, it's like we can still see where it's a work in progress. And that's the part where we're just like, yo, I'm glad that it's week 11 and not in the postseason that we're figuring this out. You're figuring it out now because by the time we get to the postseason, that's all the stuff that we want to have completely locked in, whether we're implementing it or dead in it. But you're figuring it out right now. Just so happened it was a short week and we ended up taking the L, so it gets highlighted a little bit more. But to me, man, those are some of the things, like I said, that I see with the red zone specifically, and then with the Justin Fields stuff. I just think if they can get it in rhythm, it can be a weapon. But you got to be in rhythm, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't deny the positives we get from it. I actually like seeing Fields out there. I just hate it for
it kills the
team, the game flow when we do stupid stuff with it. So you got to be perfect with it. You got to be 3 for 3 like you were last week.
Yeah.
And that's not something you can't expect. Or that's not something that I think is going to happen because you're never going to be perfect.
With it. Yeah, we want perfection, and it's like, oh, if it doesn't work, then why do we do it? But if it does work, it's like, great. I think that's just, we got to live with it when they decide to call it. And I think we will be more calculated with it because of that, though.
Yeah, part of it probably was the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was just like it's going to be tougher to pass.
Yeah, and we know Fields can throw, but it's like, yo, he's not the guy that you want throwing in a blizzard. That's what Russ is here for. That's what we say Russ does. He can throw the ball. So If we're gonna throw that up, man, I would much rather have been Russ in that situation. But if it's sunny out there, I don't have an issue with it. If it was perfect conditions, I don't have an issue with Fields having that throw. But I think all of that kind of goes into it. And when the result is an incompletion and you lose the game, yeah, we're going to be looking at that decision even more. So, like, yo, are you sure you did? Was that the best decision? Why would you make that specific one right there?
I don't even know if he faked the handoff.
I don't think he did. I think it was just snap, look, toss it up. Yeah.
Terrible. Not on Fields. I don't mind the attempt, but I think terrible from the coaching staff by having him out there in that situation and having the play just be that.
Yeah, I want an RPO element of it. I want some type of tight end element.
I just want Russ out there if you're gonna do that
right.
passing play.
Phil should give you run pass options when you're calling him specifically in those situations.
But then it's too predictable. So that's why I'm just like, let's just pick the quarterback, man. Enough of this.
Yeah, I mean we've picked.
We're confusing ourselves.
We picked the quarterback. It was still Russ, but I just think when you look at how that Saints game went, how do you not put Fields out there for a little bit? Taysom Hill had the game of his life versus them, man. How do you not do it?
I think for me, really, it comes down to that 3rd and 4. It comes down to that play. Because everything else,
the 30-yard
talk
game,
about it being in flow of the game, not as critical moments.
Yeah.
But 3rd and 4, we need this first down. Let's close it out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Respect, baby.
And you're going to do that pass play.
Respect, man.
Now, granted, we put Fields out there last week in a critical series to get a first down. It worked. But
Fields had the biggest run of the game, though.
What?
He had the biggest run of the night last night.
Yesterday. That's what I mean. I'm probably talking most specifically about that 3rd and 4 in our decision to utilize Fields that way. That was the most frustrating use of him.
Yeah, that's respect.
Because we had a couple negative plays with Fields, not getting the 4th down. There was one where I think he had to roll out and we lost a couple yards. But there were a lot of positives. The Jalen Warren touchdown run.
It was a net positive.
A big part of that was Fields being in the game. He got the roughing the passer. He had the explosive run as you talk about. So, yeah, I can't deny that the good things we get from Fields, but
we just don't like it when it doesn't work.
Don't be getting too cute with it. Come on. Don't be outthinking yourself here.
Low key, I agree with you right there. I felt like, we about to start outthinking ourselves a little bit with it. So I'm hoping that.
That's why I just feel like the default,
we was getting a little bit
the
too
default
far.
should be this is your quarterback. Don't even think about this other stuff. That's what I would prefer the default be. Because when you do have Fields out there, I just feel like it has to be perfect for it to work. Yeah. Because if not, you're messing with the game flow. You're messing with Russ's rhythm too. Oh, you have Fields out there for 2-3 plays in a row. Yeah. And a couple of them are negative. Russ, go out there on 3rd and 13.
Go save us. Yeah.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah.
That's really messed up.
Trust me, everything you just said, I'm with you 100% on, bro. It does mess your rhythm up. It does mess the flow up. And the information that you're getting. If I've played you for 3 plays or if we're at 3 plays, that first play, I'm getting information, man. Positive or negative play, I'm getting information. Second play, positive or negative, I'm getting information. So now when that 3rd one hits, I kind of already built up in my mind a little bit of a Rolodex of what's been going on. From the sideline, it's a way different gathering of that information. It's a way different feel to it. And because they both play quarterback, you think Russ got a chance to ask Fields, hey, bro, what you see out there when he came in? No. You just get back in there and make it work. So that is the strain that it does put on Russ in a sense. But shout out to both of those guys being professional, and that is part of it. You got to be ready to go regardless of how you're utilized. And for the majority of it, they were. But, yeah, we got to fine-tune it some more, though. We definitely got to.